Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to one of my videos. I know that I have been on a 3-day hiatus and I do apologize for that. I've just been fairly busy, but I'm not busy anymore and I have much more time to work on videos, and I have a special video for you today. I have never done a creepypasta before, and since they're like the hottest thing on the internet right now, I figured why not share a creepypasta with you guys. So today I bring you Pokemon Snap Beauty. We are all familiar with the game Pokemon Snap. It was a family fun game for the good old Nintendo 64. You played the role of a young man who went around taking pictures of Pokemon. I loved this game, and it just so happens that it was one of the first games I bought for my Nintendo 64. But something happened that will keep me from ever touching that system again. A few days ago, I bought a Nintendo 64 for my friend. It came with 6 games: Mario Kart 64, Pokemon Stadium, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Smash Brothers, and Pokemon Snap. He sold them to me, telling me he just didn't want to look at these games anymore. I thought nothing of it and just marked it off in my mind, as he was just getting sick of the system taking up room in his dresser. I started playing Pokemon Snap first. When that familiar N64 logo came up, I about creamed myself in pure nostalgic bliss. Then, the startup screen came on. I noticed that the last save was made only about a week ago. I figured my friend wanted to play one last round to say goodbye to the system. I opened the file to see how far he had gotten when I noticed some strange things about the game. Professor Oak was not standing in the normal lab, I remember. The background was lined with blackened marks and the windows were broken in. The outside was a dismal gray, looking almost overcast. His dialogue did not match the cheery attitude I remember. "Good day to you, young one. Are you ready for your most important shoot?" His face contorted to a cruel looking smile. I wanted to know what came next, so I pressed go. God, I wish I would have just turned the system off. The overworld map looked wrong. The landscape was not a lush green and brown, but a muddy brown and red, almost like fire. My friend had beaten all of the tracks, so I could select any of them. I picked Beach. If only I would have just turned off the system. The startup was the same animation, my character reading from his camera and switching to first person view. The whole track was dark and it seemed to be almost completely abandoned. The cheery music did not play. The only sound was that of my vehicle going down the track and the wind blowing. I turned the first corner and what I saw is still fresh in my mind. Bodies were strewn all across the screen. The Meowth that comes running from the grass was on the tracks. I figured the cart would just stop, like it normally does when something obstructs the path, but it just ran over him. The worst part was the sound, that squish of meat, the crack of his bones. The sound was not that of the crappy quality that I was used to either. This sounded real, like it had been recorded and broadcasted into my game. I looked back to see if Meowth was still there, and now Pidgeys were eating him. They pecked out his eyes and continued to devour his body. I don't know what drove me to take a picture, but I did. I wanted to just reach out and flick the power switch, but something compelled me to continue the game. I came to the part where the Snorlax normally was, but instead of a comedic sleeping giant, I found him mourning over a dead Pikachu in his arms. Once again, some sick notion inside of me forced me to take this picture. I came to the part where normally a Meowth would be gusted by a Pidgey, but the only thing I saw were 2 dead Pidgeys. A Meowth came out from the grass and began to feast on their remains. I found myself taking pictures of almost everything I saw by this point, so I snapped the picture as I neared the end. I came to the bridge that crosses over the small river. Bodies floated down the river, some looking like they had been torn apart, some looking snapped, some looking like they just died for no reason. No cuts, bruises, or anything wrong with them. I snapped a picture of this as well. I came to the warp gate that takes you back to Professor Oak's lab. I skipped doing Oak's picture because I just could not bear to see the images I had captured. But when the game cut to Oak saying, "Welcome back," he opened my entire library of photos and began to comment on a few. The one of the dead Meowth being eaten made him smile. A sick, sadistic smile. Nature taking its course. Let's check the size. 260. It's so-so. Technique, great, you really captured the beauty of its demise. He brought up the one of Snorlax. Great, you have done well capturing his pain and suffering. True work of art. Let's check the size. After commenting on all of my photos, his face turned to his now sick-looking smile. Ever since Mew became angry, the world is just full of beauty, don't you agree? I was given the option of yes or no, but when I clicked no, he would just say, "Are you sure?" After I finally said yes, he told me I had one last thing to do. He said I must capture an image of Mew in all of his glory. I went to the start screen and picked Rainbow Cloud. When the startup screen started, I was greeted with the loving, friendly clouds I had prayed I would see. But the only problem was, the constellations were not their normal Pokemon forms. They resembled lightning bolts, tidal waves, falling meteors, and forest fires. After about 10 minutes of just moving through the map, I finally encountered Mew, or at least what I can only assume was once Mew. The creature was much larger than the cute cuddly Mew I had seen before. This thing was huge, with sharp teeth and horrible looking eyes. Eyes that seemed to suck the joy out of anything they cast their gaze upon. I brought up my camera to snap a picture of the creature when my game started glitching out. Text kept appearing over the screen while the creature seemed to warp around it. You have seen what true beauty is. Now you must become part of the beauty. 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 It repeated this for about 2 minutes until the creature stopped warping and flew towards the screen. He pointed at me and mouthed the word beauty, and my game crashed. I threw the cartridge out and have not since touched the Nintendo 64. I can only wonder what the other games may hold. Well, that was certainly a doozy to read. I'm nearly breathless now. I read that all in one go. My thoughts on that story. I thought it was a pretty good story, to be completely honest. It actually had me a little creeped out. The story was overall really good. I did like the story a lot. I really can't bash on it, since it was actually a pretty good story, unlike some other creepypastas that I've been reading today. That's it. I guess thank you guys so much for watching. That's pretty much all I have today. So if you guys want to link to the actual story, I will pop it in the description. And I also leave your comments on what you think about this story. Do you guys like it? Do you guys think it was good? I personally thought it was great. So yeah. But then again, to be fair, this is my first creepypasta ever, so I may be a noob on this still, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, either way, I hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you guys soon.